Hey friends, John here. I wasn't planning on making a video today, but I was in the Word this morning. I was studying the scriptures, and I felt that God was really speaking something to me through one of the passages, and I wanted to share what I was learning with all of you. So this is going to be a bit of a rant video. I hope you don't mind. Rant. What I want to talk about is evangelism, witnessing, or sharing your faith, whatever you want to call it. And when people talk about this topic, a lot of the times they like to use the metaphor of planting seeds, which we find that in the parable of the sower. We find that metaphor rooted in several of the Gospels. But I think when we actually think about the act of evangelizing or the act of witnessing, we don't think of it as just planting seeds. I think most of us think that in order to properly share our faith or properly witness to someone, we need to not only plant the seed, but we need to water the plant, we need to produce and manufacture our own sunlight, and we need to harvest it, and we need to make sure that the soil is good. We feel we need to do the entire process in one 5-minute conversation, or in one single sermon, or in one small group, or in one summer camp. But if you think of a spiritual journey on a timeline from 0 all the way to 10, 0 being completely estranged from God, no relationship with Him whatsoever, and 10 being a fully devoted follower of Christ, we seem to think that in order to evangelize, we need to bring someone from 0 to 10 like that, in one conversation, in one prayer. But I would challenge you with this. If you think about your own faith journey, and you think about all the people that helped bring you from 0 to 10, all the people who encouraged you, all the people who taught you, all the people who prayed with you, all the people who spoke into you, all the authors you read, everyone who was a part of that journey, I guarantee you it was not just one person that brought you from 0 to 10. In fact, it was probably hundreds of people, maybe even thousands. You see, the sobering truth is that you are not going to be the main character in someone else's testimony. And I know that might sound harsh, and I don't want you to get the wrong idea. What I mean when I say that you're not going to be the main character in someone else's testimony, I actually think that that's a good thing. Because if you were, then they would end up worshiping you rather than the God that deserves their worship. I think at best, at most, we are called to play cameo roles in other people's testimonies, in other people's faith journeys. Rather than putting all the pressure on ourselves to bring them from 0 to 10, maybe your job is just to bring them from 2 to 3, or from 7 to 8. Maybe your job is just to help them take that next step, or maybe even from 0 to 0.5. If we return to that metaphor of planting seeds, maybe God is not calling us to be in charge and take full responsibility of the entire agricultural evangelistic process. Perhaps in this moment, in that conversation, in that sermon, your job is simply to plant a single seed, so that later on down the road, months later, years later, someone else can water it. And then months or years later, someone else can come along and provide the sunlight, and another group of people can harvest it. Perhaps we don't need to do it all ourselves. And perhaps you're not even going to be the one to plant the seed. Perhaps your only job is to begin preparing the soil. Because as we learn from the parable of the sower, if the soil is not good, the seed doesn't matter. It's not going to grow. So I hope that perhaps beginning to look at evangelism or witnessing or sharing your faith in this way, I hope that it begins to maybe take a little bit of the pressure off of us to feel like we need to bring someone the entire length of their faith journey. And I also hope that it begins to remove a few of the excuses that we use. Because it seems daunting to bring someone from 0 to 10, and it seems so daunting that most of us think, I could never do that, I'm not even going to try. But I think any of us could bring someone one step closer to God in that conversation we have, in that relationship we have, at that small group. So today, this week, and in the years to come, may you go out and play cameo roles in faith journeys all over your community. May you bring people from 2 to 3 or from 7 to 8. And may you plant seeds. Oh, and by the way, that poll we took earlier this week of what we're going to call the anima community, Fanimas or Animaniacs, the winner was Fanimas. So I say to all of you Fanimas out there, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. Maybe I'll start doing more videos like this. Whenever I feel something on my heart, I'll just share it with the camera. If that's what you want, comment below. Let me know what you thought of this sort of format. This is probably gonna be the last video for a couple weeks because I'm getting married next week. Holla! I'm really excited. I can barely contain myself. And yeah, I hope you all have an amazing Friday. Hope you all have an amazing weekend. And I hope you all are having the best summer ever. Unless you're in a part of the world where it's not summer and it's actually winter right now. So I hope you're having the best winter ever.